So if you didn't think things could get any crazier for the Suns, you were wrong. We are on the doorstep of potentially signing Kyrie Irving somehow, some way in free agency. Sundo, if the Bradley Beal thing didn't go down, I would have said this was impossible, but I've learned not to question Matt Ishbia too much. If they're able to get him, first of all, if they're able to get him on a minimum contract,
that would be crazy if that's what ends up happening. A minimum for Kyrie Irving. Talk about wizardry. Matt Ishbia and James Jones went to Hogwarts. Business class with all the wizardry they're pulling off.
Now, we don't actually think it's going to be on a minimum contract. However, the other option is a sign and trade for DA. And the Mavs stay linked to DeAndre Ayton. Here's my idea of what could be happening behind the scenes. Kyrie might not really want to be with the Mavs. They probably know that if that's the case. So they're looking at getting DA. Why not use a guy who wants to go sign somewhere else to provide that? It's not like they're just saying, hey, we love Kyrie. Kyrie's here to stay. Oh, DeAndre Ayton's in the mix? Oh, we'll give you. It's not that. It's, oh, you're about to leave us? Well, let's see if we could turn you into DeAndre Ayton so we don't lose you for nothing.
That seems to make the most sense. Him coming on a veteran minimum? No, it makes zero sense. We all know Kyrie Irving is about his money. He is not about to come here on no veteran minimum to chase a ring. That man already got his ring. That's not happening. And what you said makes perfect sense because the reports are saying they're supposed to be meeting in LA. So that means the Suns are going to be meeting him in LA, and that means the Mavericks are going to be meeting him in LA, and the sign and trade would make perfect sense. So I think that's the route we're going. We are still in talks with Mavericks. You know, the reports did come out saying, hey, don't rule out the Mavs. Don't rule out the Mavs for DeAndre Ayton. Your theory does seem to make the most sense.
If there's one wild card in the NBA, it's Kyrie Irving.
Man.
Wild card, bitches!
So as far as accepting a 1-year minimum deal in Phoenix just to play with KD again and be on a super team and win a title potentially, if there's one person in the NBA who would shock you with their decision making, is it not Kyrie?
I mean, just because he's a wild card, but in my opinion, I just don't think he would do that. I don't think he's that infatuated with chasing a ring to take a veteran minimum to come to Phoenix. And, you know, I know he likes KD. I know he likes Booker and seems like, you know, I know he would want to come here, but not on a veteran minimum. I think really the only way is to sign and trade. Kyrie doesn't seem to be that much of a ring chaser. You know what I mean? Like, and really those are the only two options, veteran minimum or the sign and trade for DA. That's literally the only two ways this is going to happen.
It's a very fair point. I could see a world in which Kyrie is like, I've made a ton of money. I just want to be happy and play where I want to play. Let me go out here this 1 year, ball out, win a title, show everybody who I really am, and then I'll go get paid somewhere else. But I just could see him, if anyone would do it, I think it would be him. That's a star level player.
Yeah, I could also see him using the Phoenix Suns and using our aggressiveness against us and him getting a deal from the Mavericks, or since he's in LA, a deal with the Lakers. That's also possible that they could be thrown into the mix here. So I think our names being mentioned could be, you know, leverage, or maybe Matt Ishbia is really like, hey, bro, I don't care about the CBA. I want this championship now. Let's go get some talent.
It would be another version of getting Bradley Beal. Things just lining up perfectly so that the Suns are able to, like that character on Deadpool, that girl who just has luck. Can't remember her name, but everything just goes her way. It's like, well, Bradley Beal had a no trade clause. That's what happened. And we also had another max contract for a player that isn't playing like a max player, but you got this headache over in Dallas who's also on a max contract, and we were able to just swap them too. So now we've got 4 of the most prolific scorers that have ever touched a basketball on the same court. I just can't rule that out. But let's live in a world real quick where this is eventually a sign and trade for Ayton. How do you feel about running a lineup out there that's Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and more than likely Jock or Busy starting, or rotating those two?
I mean, it sounds good, right? It sounds good. Like, you hear those names, see those names, and you're like, oh my gosh, this team is loaded. But like, in my opinion, man, like in my honest opinion, I just look at it, I'm like, who's going to handle the ball? Who's going to share the ball? Who's going to put their ego aside? You know what I mean? This is tough. Having this many players who need the ball in their hands on the same team could be detrimental, in my opinion. If this were to happen, I just don't see how that would work out. Booker's got to have the ball in his hand. Durant is the only one who can play off ball. Maybe Beal as well. Booker and Kyrie, like, that would, I don't know. I don't know how that could work out.
Okay, Kevin Durant, would you label him a selfish player?
No, and that's why I mentioned him as the guy who can play off ball.
Okay, Devin Booker, do you see him as a selfish player?
I don't see Devin Booker as a selfish player, but I do see Devin Booker as a shot creator and someone who needs the ball in his hands.
Devin can play off ball. He's incredible off ball.
I mean, he had to play off ball when CP3 was there, but you also seen what happened when CP3 was gone. He had to be the one with the ball in his hands. So
right. If Devin Booker is not the main point guard, do you think he's selfish coming off the ball?
No, I do not.
Okay, so we're 2 out of 4 here. Do you think of Bradley Beal as a selfish player?
If I had to be honest with you, I haven't seen a whole lot of film on Bradley Beal. I just know Bradley Beal's a good player. I know him as a player who can get buckets and, you know, is a really good shooter. So him off ball, maybe. He did play with Russell Westbrook and did let Russell Westbrook handle the ball when Russell Westbrook was there. So there is that, right? He did play with John Wall, who, by the way, is one of the more ball-centric players that's in the history in the last decade. So yes, you're starting to. I get where you're going with this.
Now, with Bradley Beal, I have watched probably a little bit more of him than you have, but you will be shocked at what a playmaker for others Bradley Beal is and how unselfish. When he's out there, he's always out there making the right play at the right time. He's not a forcer of the issue. I think he's safely considered a not selfish player. Do you feel like Kyrie Irving is a selfish player on the court?
That's the kicker, man. You never know a Kyrie, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I know Kyrie is capable of passing. I know he's capable of playing with others. He's done it before. He played with LeBron, but that's LeBron James, right? He played with KD, but half the time he didn't play with KD because he wanted to sit. That's another issue that we would bring here also, is him not wanting to play as much, but that's a different topic for a different day. But as far as him handling the ball and sharing, I don't know. That's tough.
I see him as one of the most misunderstood players on the court because his handles are truly godlike and his finishing ability and his scoring period is just amazing. People want to think, oh, he must be a score first, score only guard. He's not. Do you remember that game where he and Luka lost at the last second because they wouldn't stop passing the ball back and forth to each other as if they were trying to say, nah, bro, this is your team. Nah, bro, it's cool. I know it's my team, but you have the ball. It's all good. You're the scorer. No, man, I ain't trying to step on your toes. You take the ball. That was just a snapshot into who Kyrie really is on the court. He can take and make incredible shots, but he's a filthy passer who loves getting other people involved. I think these four would have to just come to an understanding that, hey, we're all sacrificing here. None of us are going to have our highest scoring season here. We're trying to win a title. And if it comes at the cost of DeAndre Ayton, I think I would be willing to see where it goes. And it could be a scary ending.
I did look up some career stats for Kyrie Irving just real quick. He scores 23 points a game and he scores 6 assists per game, or 5.7 to be exact. His highest assist total in a season playing 67 games is on the Boston Celtics in that 2018-2019 year, where he averaged 7 assists per game. And so that Celtics team was at the time kind of stacked, if you remember that Celtics team with Gordon Hayward and all that stuff. So he is capable, you know, as well. So I'm starting to kind of go to your side, but man, I just still don't know. It's Kyrie Irving, and you said he is the most misunderstood. He does have that bad rep. He does have that bad juju rep amongst media and the NBA community, you know, our online community as well. You just hear nothing but negativity when it comes to Kyrie Irving. So it's just tough. Do you really want that on your team? That's my question.
It would be comparable to walking around with nitroglycerin trying not to explode. If you didn't explode, you can use that nitroglycerin to blow up your enemies. Tell us what you guys think in the comments below. Do you want Kyrie Irving on the team, or do you think that this is just a little too dangerous for the Suns this upcoming season? We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out.